to the next dimension.
Hey guys, this is undercoverdudes all the way from down under, and today I'm going to be doing a bit of an analysis of the new free-to-play first-person shooter published by Nexon called Extraction. Now, Extraction is being developed by Splash Damage, of who I'm going to do a bit of an analysis on as well, in order to give you guys a bit of an idea of what they've previously done and how good their work has been. Now before that, let's get into the game itself. Now basically, it's based in London, and it's supposed to be a very competitive first-person shooter with a very big emphasis on teamwork, like a extremely high emphasis on teamwork. The fact is, there's going to be a lot of different classes. You're going to have snipers, you're going to have close range rushers with the SMGs, you're going to have people healing. There's a lot of different mechanics, there's a lot of different classes in this game that, you know, Splash Damage is trying to go and convey to us that it's going to be different. It's not going to be just about running around shooting people. There's going to be some tactical stuff behind it that a lot of other free-to-play first-person shooters just haven't had the time, effort, dedication to go and implement. Warframe, for example, is one game that has gone and attempted to go and do this, and I have to say they have done it quite well. Can Extraction do it better? We'll have to see to the beta. But looking at the gameplay, looking at what we've got at the moment, it seems like a very detailed FPS. They've put a lot of work into this that not many other studios do. They've really got the environment looking absolutely fantastic, especially with the graphics engine, which I'm not 100% sure on what it's actually running on, but it does look very nice, and that's always a really good way to start it off in order to get a community running, in order to go and get some player base, as the fact is the game looking nice. But saying that, the gameplay is where it matters, and just looking at the gameplay, because that's all we've got at the moment, it seems, you know, fairly decent. It seems very solid mechanics, and that's what you want in an FPS. Definitely want in an FPS, because if the mechanics are bad, then, you know, that's really, the game is wrecked, basically. Now, besides from the game itself, Nexon and Splash Damage have been putting a lot of emphasis on a new analytic tool called Echo, and basically it gives them real-time data of what people are doing in the game. That's supposedly what they're saying. Now, if implemented into the game in a full extent, this could tell basically how many people are using a certain type of gun, how many people playing a certain type of mode, how many people are firing bullets at a certain like recoil pattern and trying to counter it. There's so much stuff they can do in order to go and balance the game. And this goes hand in hand with the fact is that Splash Damage and Nexon want to make this game competitive. They've got the classes, they've got this analytic tool, like Valve with Counter-Strike Go. They go and have a look at all the charts, all the statistics, in order to go and balance the game. Now, Extraction may be Nexon's first endeavor into the esports market. Now, the fact remains that Combat Arms does have an esports kind of base around it, but not truly legitimate in the fact that everybody knows about it. Everybody knows that there's COD players. Everybody knows there's Counter-Strike Pro players, you know, in League of Legends and games like that. Extraction may be Nexon's actual first endeavor in order to go and put this game on the map, so to be a very, very, very big community behind it. They've got the classes, they've got the massive teamwork element, and they've got really nice graphics, great gameplay from what it seems. This game could be very, very, very good in a way. But before we get our hopes up, we have to look at the actual developer, because the developer is not Nexon. Nexon goes and manages by themselves Combat Arms. Now, Combat Arms was initially developed by Dubik Studios, but now that kind of got taken over, Nexon's making all the content. So such, we have to go and think, okay, what does Splash Damage bring to the table? And they have made quite a few games, of which I'm going to go and point out a couple of them. The main one is Wolfenstein Enemy Territory. This game was released in 2003 and it is ridiculously successful. Completely free to play. You don't buy any guns, you don't buy anything, and it is literally, you know, pinnacleized the whole free-to-play market. Now, saying that, it's quite an old game, but there's still a very solid, very solid player base behind it, and that is looking really good. Now, the other games they've gone and made is Doom 3 in 2004, Enemy Territory Quake Wars, Brink released in 2011, which was one of the biggest flops I've ever seen in a game. It was so hyped up, but then it kind of just fell because it just didn't have the player base behind it. And I think this may be the same for Extraction. Brink is not a bad game. It just had the wrong perspective on what it should be doing. They tried to merge multiplayer and the campaign together into one kind of colossal beast, and it just didn't work. And such, no people playing it now. The only way to do it is to do offline. So such, it's not a bad game, it just had the wrong perspective. Nexon is going to give that perspective, even though they are, controversially one of the, worst free-to-play companies, depending on who you're talking to. I have to say they're doing a pretty good job with games like Combat Arms. The fact is they can kind of turn a free-to-play game into a pay-to-win game. However, it's no denying that every single one of their games, which they're supporting right now, is hugely successful. And that is because they've had the right business sense and the right, way to manage their games in order to keep a fan base. Extraction is looking like a good game. I am, fairly pumped for it. And with Nexon on this side, I think they can go and put them in the right direction and definitely get this game out in the open, because Nexon already has a massive fan base behind it. A lot of people are going to jump on it, even though it may not be the best game. And if it is a good game, then boom, it's going to start blowing up. And that's what I want, because, it seems pretty cool at the moment. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this. If you did, make sure to go and give it a like rating, possibly a favorite. But other than that, Undercover Dudes, all the way from Down Under, out.